4 distinct quakes rattled the region in just 3 minutes, centered around the San Ramon Valley. Homes shuddered, conversations froze mid-word, phones buzzed like alarms, and for a moment the world seemed to hold its breath. It wasn't a single, isolated tremor. It was a sequence, a chorus of movement, a whisper from the ground that it had something to say and no one knew exactly what. Then came the question everyone silently asked. Was this normal, or was it a warning of something larger? The ground had spoken, but its language was unclear. Swarms like this are rare, but in this region, rarity doesn't mean impossibility. The Bay Area is a living mosaic of fault lines, stress points, and ancient fractures. And sometimes, the earth murmurs before it roars. Early Sunday morning, just before 9:40 a.m., the first tremor struck. Instruments recorded 8 quakes in rapid succession, with magnitudes ranging from 2.5 to 3.8, all clustered southeast of San Ramon. For those in Danville, Dublin, Emeryville, and San Ramon, the quakes felt stronger than the numbers suggested. Chairs wobbled, pictures rattled on walls, and pets leaped instinctively. It was the kind of shaking that lodges in memory because it feels alive and deliberate, like the ground is testing your attention. Then something strange happened. Residents began noticing subtle variations in the shaking. Some tremors were uneven, rolling, almost pulsing, as though the fault beneath the hills was sending different messages in rapid succession. Scientists call it a swarm, multiple tremors occurring close in time and space, a signature that the Earth is adjusting its stress rather than releasing it all at once. But for those on the surface, it feels like an enigma. The ground moves, you feel it, but its intentions remain mysterious. The San Ramon region is no stranger to seismic activity. Branches of the larger San Andreas Fault weave under hills and cities, threading beneath homes, schools, and businesses. Plates grind slowly beneath the surface, tension building over decades. Every so often, the Earth lets off steam, and that is exactly what a swarm represents. The fault breathing, shifting, whispering warnings. Yet this whisper can be unsettling because it is unpredictable. No one knows whether this is the start of something larger or merely the ground settling its own tension. Imagine you are sitting in your kitchen, coffee in hand, scrolling through your phone when the floor shivers beneath you. It lasts a few seconds, but those seconds stretch into a memory. Your chair rocks gently, a picture frame tilts, and a dog leaps up as if startled by some invisible force. And in that moment, you realize that beneath your feet, the Earth is alive. The shaking is not random, it is purposeful, though its purpose remains cryptic. A couple in Danville described feeling the quake while at church. Others noted that the tremors felt stronger than the instruments indicated. That discrepancy between human perception and technical measurement is more than anecdotal. It reflects the complex way energy travels through different soils, buildings, and structures. The same magnitude can feel like a whisper in one house and a shout in another. And in every case, the quakes interrupt routine. They remind people that stability is never permanent, that the earth beneath is capable of sudden, unseen movement. So what does this mean? Are these swarms precursors to a massive quake? Scientists admit the answer is complex. Swarms signal activity, a fault that is alive, but they are not predictive clocks counting down to disaster. Most swarms fade without escalation, releasing stress in small increments and then falling silent. Yet the uncertainty is what fuels tension, because the fault may act unpredictably at any time. The lesson here is not fear but vigilance. Preparation, awareness, and observation are the only defenses against the unknown beneath. And then, as if to underscore the warning, the Earth reminded everyone it was not finished. Aftershocks follow the initial sequence, smaller but still noticeable, like echoes bouncing across hidden fault lines. Each tremor resets attention, reminding residents that even when it seems over, the story continues. That is the rhythm of a swarm. Reveal, question, reveal again. And it keeps hearts racing even as the shaking fades. In the hours that followed, experts from the USGS stepped forward with cautious statements, emphasizing that data collection was still underway. They reminded the public that swarms often trigger hidden sensors to activate, revealing microquakes too small for humans to feel, but critical for understanding the story unfolding beneath the surface. Those microquakes, sometimes hundreds of them, paint a clearer picture of how stress migrates along a fault. And while the public focuses on the shaking they felt, scientists are equally interested in the tremors that went unnoticed. Neighbors shared stories online, comparing experiences and seeking reassurance. Some reported strange sounds, low rumbles, a deep thudding under the floorboards, while others swore they felt a slight swaying long before the official quakes were registered. Whether psychological or geological, these sensations added to the eerie atmosphere, amplifying the uncertainty. Emergency crews quietly increased readiness across Contra Costa and Alameda counties, checking equipment, confirming communication lines, and preparing in case the swarm intensified. Local officials encouraged residents to review emergency kits, flashlights, water, batteries, first aid supplies, emphasizing that readiness is not paranoia, but responsibility. Meanwhile, social media lit up with live footage, cameras capturing ceiling lamps swaying, water rippling in glasses, pets pacing nervously. These real-time reactions formed a mosaic of human response, illustrating how a few seconds of movement can ripple emotionally through a community long after the ground settles. Why does this region see swarms like this? The Bay Area sits atop a tangled web of faults, part of the seismically active Pacific Ring of Fire. Branches of the San Andreas fault system, including the Hayward, Calaveras, and other lesser-known faults, run beneath densely populated areas. Plates move imperceptibly, stress accumulates, and the Earth occasionally releases it in sudden, startling bursts. This is not random. It is a pattern, a pulse, a conversation between rock and tectonics, played out over decades and centuries. And sometimes, the conversation speaks in short, rapid bursts rather than one long, catastrophic scream. Here's where human perception meets the scientific narrative. For residents, a magnitude 3.8 might seem small, but any tremor that jolts you from normalcy has significance. Small quakes remind us that energy exists beneath our feet. They show stress lines, highlight vulnerabilities, and, above all, provoke reflection. How prepared are we? How ready are we to act if the ground decides to speak louder? These questions linger, and the swarm amplifies them. Safety during such moments depends on awareness and preparation. Every home has its hidden zones, sturdy tables, solid counters, interior walls, and spots that can shield against falling objects. When shaking begins, dropping, covering, and holding on is the immediate response. There is no time to think in a swarm, there is only time to act. Familiarity with your environment can mean the difference between injury and safety. Upper floors behave differently. Buildings flex, sway, and absorb the energy in ways that can be unsettling but are structurally sound. Residents need mental maps: where to duck, where to avoid, and how to protect themselves from falling hazards like windows, lamps, or heavy furniture. And those in vehicles must recognize that cars can be temporary shields, stopping in safe areas away from overpasses, trees, or power lines. Driving slowly and carefully and assessing surroundings becomes a survival skill, because even modest quakes disrupt traffic patterns and increase hazards. Communication is critical after any swarm. Phones can become overloaded. Texting becomes more reliable than calling. Family check-ins are crucial. Elderly relatives may require reassurance. Calm voices provide clarity amidst tension, and timely information reinforces the ability to respond appropriately. The aftershocks continue hours after the initial swarm. Each tremor resets the nervous system. The Earth does not announce whether this is the last or the beginning. Residents must stay alert, monitor updates, and avoid returning to routine until safety is verified. The swarm is a reminder that control is an illusion. Preparation is power. And yet, the story is not entirely grim. Swarms often fade. They are part of the Earth's rhythm, releasing stress in measured doses. The tremors may cease, leaving only the memory of movement, the knowledge that the fault is alive, and the awareness that next time the ground may speak differently. The Bay Area has lived through larger quakes, and systems exist for monitoring, for warning, and for evacuation if needed. Knowledge, vigilance, and calm action are the shields people rely upon. But there is a question that lingers long after the shaking. Will this be the precursor to something larger? Or is it a brief conversation the Earth chose to have this morning? The uncertainty is what makes swarms gripping, what makes them feel alive, and what commands attention. For scientists, it is data. For residents, it is an immediate reality. For everyone watching from afar, it is a reminder. The ground is never truly still, and awareness is the cost of respect. So, what should viewers take away? Preparation is not dramatic. It is practical. Knowing safe spots, exit routes, and protective measures ensures readiness without panic. Observing aftershocks, understanding the signals, and respecting the unpredictable nature of the fault system empower action. In regions like the Bay Area, small tremors are signals, not noise. They are invitations to vigilance, reminders that awareness can prevent tragedy, and proof that the Earth moves according to its own rules, not ours. And finally, the Bay Area waits and watches. Residents glance at walls, tap pictures into place, check windows, and talk quietly about what they feel. Scientists analyze data, monitor recorded tremors, and alerts stand ready. The swarm may be over, or it may linger. But the question remains echoing through hills, streets, and homes. When will the ground speak again? And will we be ready to listen? And yet, even as the hours pass and the tremors quiet, the Earth beneath the Bay Area remains awake. Every fault line, every fracture, every hidden seam is part of a restless system that doesn't adhere to schedules or expectations. The morning swarm may have subsided, leaving behind only rattled memories and heightened awareness. But the ground remembers. It remembers the energy stored, the stress waiting to be released, and the silent conversations it has with itself beneath our cities, homes, and hills. Tonight, residents may sleep cautiously, their ears tuned to subtle shifts, their minds lingering on the sensation of movement underfoot. Scientists continue to watch, monitors glowing faintly in dark labs, waiting for the next signal, the next pulse. And for everyone who felt the shaking or watched from afar, one question hangs in the air, unspoken but persistent. When will the ground speak again? And will we be ready to hear it? In the Bay Area, that question never truly disappears because the Earth never truly rests. This earthquake swarm is a major reminder of how unpredictable the Bay Area can be. Stay alert, stay prepared, and keep following local updates as more information comes in. If you found this report helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you're not always the first to know when breaking news like this hits. Drop a comment below. Did you feel the quake where you are? Let's see how far this one reached.